Hey, Fred. Hope you're well. How much have you allowed yourself to get excited about a series against the Celtics? You guys have been kind of banging heads now pretty much your whole career, but to meet them in this kind of context, what comes to mind?
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty excited. And then we all had to watch Jacob Blake get shot yesterday. So that kind of changes the tone of things and puts things in perspective. So that's really kind of all that's been on my mind. And, coming down here, making a choice to play, we're supposed to not be in vain, but it's just starting to feel like everything we're doing is just going through the motions and nothing's really changing. And here we are again with another, unfortunate incident. So my thoughts today are with that man and his family and trying to just wrap my mind around what they're going through today.
Fred, where were you when you saw the video, and like, how do you try to make sense of it?
I don't know. I would like to ask you, what do you think about it? Like, how do you make sense of
it? I think that those interactions are the product of a big pyramid of things that those interactions express, that are unavoidably factual. And then some of the moments, I kind of at the same time wonder if there's, I feel for everyone involved. That's about all I can say.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. At some point, like, we are the ones always with the microphones in our face. We're the ones always who have to make a stand. But, like, we're the oppressed ones, and the responsibility falls on us to make a change to stop being oppressed. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it boils down to. That's my point. I asked you the question, like, at what point do we not have to speak about it anymore? Like, are we gonna hold everybody accountable, or we're just gonna put the spotlight on Black people or Black athletes or entertainers and say, what are you doing? What are you contributing to your community? What are you putting on the line? And then us too, we got to take responsibility as well. Like, what are we willing to give up? Do we actually give up about what's going on, or is it just cool to wear Black Lives Matter on the backdrop, or wear a T-shirt? Like, what does that really mean? Is it really doing anything? So I don't have the answers for you today, but I think we're all. I'll speak for myself. I'm in a different place today, just emotionally speaking.
Fred, you guys, you're as attuned to these issues. You grew up in a town. I think you're pretty familiar with that part of the world. Some of the things that go down in the Midwest, I guess, would be the way to put it. When you guys entered into this bubble, how did you weigh the potential of the visibility, which I think has been very high on this issue, and I think there's been an effort. I can speak for Toronto media. I think there's been an effort to kind of amplify a lot of your concerns, versus the fact that the change is inevitably going to be incremental, right? Like, there's no way that you could go into Orlando and think that an issue like this wouldn't arise again. The math just doesn't work that way. So how do you make peace with that? How do you get your mind around it? I know it's a tough question.
Yeah, that's the point. Like, we knew, coming here or not coming here wasn't going to stop anything. But I think ultimately, like, playing or not playing puts pressure on somebody. So, for example, this happened in Kenosha, Wisconsin, if I'm correct.
Yeah, that's right.
Would it be nice if in a perfect world, we all say we're not playing, and the owner of the Milwaukee Bucks, that's going to trickle down if he steps up to the plate and puts pressure on, district attorney's office and state's attorneys and governors and politicians there to make real change and get some justice. Like, I know it's not that simple, but at the end of the day, if we're going to sit here and talk about making change, then, at some point we're going to have to put our nuts on the line and actually, put something up to lose rather than just money or visibility. Like, I'm just over the media aspect of it. It's sensationalized. You know, we talk about it every day. That's all we see, but it just feels like a big pacifier at this point to me.
I'll just ask one more. I know there's a lot of people online here. Has there been any conversation within your team or amongst players there about a potential boycott of games?
We had a meeting this morning. A number of things are being discussed, so I'll keep that, between our team. But we're dealing with it in real time, and I think it affects everybody differently. And it's pretty fresh on my mind, and I'm sitting in front of a camera, so I'm just speaking as I'm going. But there's a lot of different things being discussed.
Thank you, Fred.
I'm going to go next to Steve Simmons from the Toronto Sun.
Fred, from a personal point of view, you have a huge playoff series coming up. From a personal point of view, you have free agency coming up, and yet the world around you is happening, unfortunately, the way the world around you is happening. How do you look at your own personal situations and then see the disgusting elements of the last 24 hours and try and make sense of all of it?
You can't really make sense of it. I mean, you can, but it's not the most logical thing in the world, for people to be getting killed because of their skin color. Like, it just doesn't make sense. So the situation itself, I mean, it's tough a little bit. You get a little survivor's remorse, you feel a little guilty. That's just natural, as someone who lives a very privileged and blessed life. Obviously I work to be here, don't get me wrong, but because I make millions of dollars doesn't make me any more worth of a person than someone else. So you feel guilty sometimes, and that's normal. And you try to use your platform and your reach and your resources to contribute to other people's lives and making their lives better. And that's about as much as you can do in the moment.
And so what are your thoughts on the Celtics series coming up, as big as it is, to you and your team and your personal situation?
I don't really care about that right now, to be honest with you. I'm sure if Thursday comes and it's time to play, I'll be able to lock in. Basketball is not really that hard for me. To be honest with you, I haven't thought much about it. I know that that's an unbelievably talented team, and they're a great team, and I think the fans have been looking forward to this, for a long time. So once we get to that point, if we get to that point, then, we'll deal with that when it comes. But right now, today, on Tuesday, I could care less.
I'm going to do two more questions for you, Fred. First one's going to Stephen Lung from Sportsnet.
Hey, Fred. George Hill, yesterday in a press conference, said it's kind of a mistake to be here now, in light of everything in light of the events with Jacob Blake. So I just want to know your thoughts, in hindsight now. Do you feel like you want? Or do you feel like it was a good idea to go ahead with the resumption of the season?
I mean, that's what that man said. I didn't say that, so I'm not going to speak on what somebody else said. I didn't see the interview. I don't know the full context of what he said. I appreciate your question, but I'm not going to comment on what that man said. I made the decision to come here, and I'm here, and I don't really live with regret. So it is what it is, and you find a way to move forward.